Today, we're going to be talking about how to not judge yourself. So, let's kind of talk about why the brain judges us. A lot of times, it actually tries to do it to protect you. So, for instance, let's say that you're going after your goal. Well, your brain doesn't actually want you to achieve your goal because it thinks it's unsafe. It's like, this is unknown. We don't know exactly what this is like. It could be dangerous. So, your brain's like, we don't want you to achieve your goal. So, what it can do is it can start to judge you so that you don't do it. Because if you're thinking you can't do it, you're not good enough, it's not possible for you, it's too hard, you're not going to be able to figure it out. If you're thinking those things, the chances of you taking that action to actually go do it are very slim. Another way that it actually does this is let's say that you do something that you didn't want to do. So you're like, okay, I said something I didn't want to say. Well, oftentimes the brain will start to judge you because it's like, well, if we judge you and we create enough negative emotion, then maybe you won't do it again. And so what ends up happening is your brain thinks it's being really helpful and it thinks it's being really useful. But what actually happens is it actually isn't helping you to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So the first way that you can actually stop your brain from doing this is by actually stopping it from doing that. So your brain's going to come and it's like, hey, just so you know, you shouldn't have done that and you should have done something different. And it's like, actually, we're not thinking about that. And the brain's going to come back and it's going to be like, you can't do this and you can't do that. And this is awful. And you shouldn't have said this. And it's like, nope, we're just not doing that. And then every time your brain comes and it offers you something, you just tell it, look, we're not doing that. We're not talking to ourselves in that way. And you just say that over and over and over as it continues to do it. Now, what you want to make sure is you're not getting into this debate with your brain. You're not arguing with your brain. You're not trying to prove your brain wrong. You're not trying to change its mind. You're just like, we're just not thinking about this right now. We're not going to talk to ourselves in this way. The second thing that I like to do is actually create safety. So, a lot of times the brain is doing this because it's scared and it thinks that it needs to protect you. So, I like to help create that safety around whatever it is it's afraid of. So, it can be that simple. Like when the judgment comes up, we're not talking to ourselves in that way. What are you afraid of? And then see what comes up. And then once you get that answer, start comforting your brain in a way that has it feel safe so that you can keep going and it doesn't feel the need to continue to judge you. So let's say that you get the example of like, well, people are going to say mean things to me. Well, how can you create safety around that? Like, it's okay if someone says something to me. It's okay if someone leaves a negative comment on my post because in that moment, I'm not going to think I did something wrong. I'm going to be proud of myself for putting myself out there and knowing that sometimes that happens. And it doesn't necessarily mean that much about me as it does about them. And so just using these two things when your brain starts to judge you, like one, telling it we're not doing that, and two, creating safety around the thing that it's afraid of. And if you want to create commitment when you go after your goals so that you can have more fun in the process and so that you can actually enjoy yourself, your relationships to your goal, your relationship to yourself while you're achieving it, then go to createcommitment.com to sign up for the waitlist for my course, How to Create Commitment.